Ayo! Welcome to Benchwarmers, a Woso podcast, episode 24. 24. Barcelona versus Eibar, 4-0, too easy. Ella Payor, 16th goal, opening up the scoring. 16 goals in 16 games with 4 assists in the league. The girl is doing everything we know. We ran out of superlatives in episode probably 7 about Payor. Like, we don't have to go through it again and again. But the second goal was far more impressive, in my opinion. Alexia to Esme. Esme being the demon that is that left-sided menace, the Dutch machine, and then plays it back to Claudia Pina. Pina smacking the ball. If Payor and Pina are on the sheet, I think Romeo is very happy. And then the third goal, I mean, this is the girl, man. This is the one. This is why we think this is why it's APA. This is why it isn't just AA. This is the reason why, and it's the reason why when she's out of the team, you lose moments like this, because personally, I don't think Aitana does this. I don't think Alexia does this the same way. The ability to take that shot, that's the Viv Alessia quality, that just the tactical IQ to know to shoot that ball from that distance, low, hard, in the bottom left corner to beat the goalie at the near post. I'm like, who in their right mind would take that shot? And it's only Patri Guiaro. And I'm like watching that and I'm just like, sometimes I just think she's the best player in the world and she just never gets the plaudits for being the best player in the world. But that is a serious moment.
I think this game was highly defined by what Esme Brutes did. I just think she's not probably the best left back in the world, but she's the best player who plays in left back in the world.
The left flank. It's the Rolfo thing again. Rolfo
it is.
Well.
But I don't think that I've seen this level of performance by her this season in the league in terms of amount of assists. I think this is her only 2 assists came in this game for the league, and she hasn't been given time. She's been injured. She's had spells on the bench, but I don't know. I think Esme Brutes is a player that you can't discount as being just complete world beater, a player that can put a team on her back. And I think when it comes down to it, these games are not the ones that matter. It's the games in the Champions League are the ones that matter. And
she's been great in the Champions League as well.
And that's it. And how Esme will play in the Champions League and how that backline really holds up in the Champions League. I mean, the levels of rotation that they've had in this backline for Barca have been insane. But I was really surprised that they put out basically their A-team bar a couple players, and they still
had a week off. As you give them the time, you want them to be match fit. I mean, my thing with Esme Brutes is, I mean, I remember like it was one of our early pods, would have been like episode 3. I said that Esme's goal should be to be a Barcelona great. And like it got like you said, like laugh, like it'll be like she's NWSL pilled kind of, and like I can see that. I could see her moving, but there's a world where she stays there for a decade personally. And look, I could say that she could go further up the pitch. I think she's happy to be in left back personally, but we've seen her further up the pitch for her country, and she puts her country on her back sometimes. And that's a team with Miedema, that's a team with Jill Roord, and sometimes you're watching, you're like, Esme Brutes is the best player on the ground, where there's a game with Jill Roord and Miedema and Jensen and Kasparai, and she's the best player in this team. And I think to myself, this is what happens when you play with the best of the best in the world. And also, I think her cup performances are going very unnoticed. She scored in the final. She opened up the scoring in the final. I mean, this is the kind of things that go down on your resume when you're finished in your career. You open up the scoring in a final. You set up and assisted in a Champions League semi-final. Like, this is what she does. It doesn't matter. Like, we're not going to remember her lack of defensive track back. We're going to remember the moments where she is involved in this titanist football moments that they're getting by playing for La Masia FC. But, I mean, we had that 4th goal. That was the Paredes. I thought it was a header when it first went in, but it was not. It was a
knee.
Wacko knee goal. I don't know. I mean, Paredes just, you know what? She does what she wants. She's just a general. She's my defensive centre half goat. Like, she is just the one. Yeah. But we will move. I mean, straight in. It was just another routine victory for Barcelona, as we say most weeks. Alhama versus Real Madrid, a second squad Real Madrid that did the business. I think so. I mean, I thought it was Angadal who scored the opening goal. It was not. It was Benison, another Madrid Swede in the midfield. Angadal, we have a new box-to-box Swede coming through. we're good. We don't need you right now. We got a 23-year-old who's 21-year-old who's world beating against Liga F sides, doing really well. I mean, VAR in the Liga F proving clutch, by the way, as all the WSL fans complain that the Liga F is this trash traffic cone league of like washed up teams. At least they have VAR. But yes, the handball is the handball. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened in this handball. It was a very weird.
It was
moment.
like she was doing kung fu in the near post. It was actually incredible use.
How did it end up on her hand? It doesn't make sense.
Really understand. No.
But Toletti got given the penalty kick. Toletti, the general, that is Toletti, burying the penalty into halftime, a 2-0 lead, and then and then Liga F delivering what it delivers best. That double crossbar moment was quite wild.
That was incredible. That was the most incredible passage of play I've ever seen in my life.
Absolutely. And then the save, the kick out, there was just so much
on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, I called it Cinema Madrid, as I would say. I mean, beautiful game in 4K on DAZN for free to watch in Australia. Magnifico. And then, I mean, Madrid just kept being relentless. Comendador at the back post, headers it, bounces into the keeper. Redondo with that half volley smashes it in, and she needs that. She's the confidence player. She needs to be on and firing, especially for those UWCL ties against Barcelona. But look, I mean, Alhama had moments in this game. They thought they got their goal, but Misa made that amazing save. She's on. She's locked in. I rate her so highly. She's actually, I mean, with Katakoi now out, we actually didn't mention that the Katakoi is now going in for surgery, I believe, and will be out for 8 weeks or more, I believe. But Misa Rodriguez, for Spain at least, for La Roja, will be the answer. But I wonder how Barcelona will manage with their goalkeeper.
Will it
situation.
be Misa or will it be Nanclares?
Well,
I think it'll be Nanclares.
I mean, I think it would be hard to take Misa out, personally. I mean, if
I'm
Bermudez...
But I don't think Misa has been in the same squad for ages.
No, it's been a while. It's been a while.
She's
but
23.
I mean, her form would probably contest.
I think she's one of the protests. I think she's one of the protests.
Maybe that would make more sense. Okay, that would make more sense. I mean, look, she is an amazing goalkeeper, and if she wanted to play, she would be number one, personally, just on form. But Nanclares is still a good goalkeeper. The question is, what does Barcelona do? It's not like they have Sandra Panos sitting on the bench anymore. It's not those days anymore. So maybe Barcelona will be more gettable if you put some shots on them with no Katakoi in goal, no Roebuck. I mean, it's not like they'd want Roebuck back right now, but it's a different world we live in. I mean, geez, times change so quickly. But I mean, Athenea also nearly had a fourth, but was so far offside, it was ridiculous. She was in the Bernabeu. That's how far away she was, but personally. But we'll move around the grounds. Athletic Bilbao versus Sociedad. I mean, the opening up of this game was just beautiful. There was dancing. There was players being honoured for Bilbao. I was having a great time. But, I mean, Sociedad. I mean, you watched this game. You saw what I've been saying so many times, the speed of their attack. Yeah. Arturo Ruiz. I am Arturo Ruiz pilled beyond comprehension. Kang, this is the one. This is the actual guy you should have got. But, my God, they are finding ways to replace the goals that Imade had, mainly through Agarizabala. But, I mean, she's had 5 goals. She's had, I believe, 2 or 3 in the last few weeks.
She's had 3 GA in the last, 4 weeks of play.
Well, that's very impressive as a 17-year-old as a whole. But it's actually, for me, it's not actually about trying to replace Imade, because I don't think Imade's stature and presence is replaceable. Yeah, but their ability to just not cop goals is unbelievable. Their defensive play, they make sure that, I mean, Bilbao had 1 shot on target for the whole game. They had 5 shots for the game, I believe, but none of them were high percentage. I think their XG would have been about 0.2, and that's the part. It doesn't matter if you cop shots, it's where you're copping shots from. And Sociedad, this 2-0 win keeps them in the running, keeps them ahead of the pack, and it keeps them way ahead of Athletic Atletico Madrid, who just can't seem to find their form.
Atletico Madrid is not going to make Europe. I do not think that they will make Europe.
Is it done? We're calling it? Yeah, we're calling it now.
I just don't think. I mean, like, what is it now? They're 12 points behind third place Sociedad with 4 games to go. I don't think that they get 3 points out of 2 of those games, let alone all 4 of them. This is a team that has completely been shot of confidence. We've talked about that before, but this team is also it just does not look like the team that we were raving on about at the start of the season.
I 100% agree. And when you're looking at Sociedad, they're 8 points ahead of third and fourth, and only a game behind Real Madrid. I think they're gonna pip them, and I only think it'll take 1 or 2 more wins before the third and fourth teams give up, because they're so good, the Sociedad. And Ezagüero didn't even come on. They didn't need her. I mean, also back to that game, shout out to Nan Clares for saving a few of those chances for Bilbao. This CFF Athletic game, I really don't want to talk about this that much, because my God, the 0-0, it was a shambles. What was it, 26 shots or something by Atleti, no goals. They just keep doing it. I mean, to be fair, the moment where CFF probably should have conceded a goal, that diving bike back, and like the keeper saves it, then it's still going over the line, and then there's the bicycle kick. It's up there with the double crossbar moment. But I'm not even joking, that bicycle back into play from Villafane is genuinely AKB. Like take out the context of the AKB Euros diving back save, which is unbelievable, of course. But this diving bike is absolutely sublime, and will not get the credit it deserves, which is a shame. But CFF holding this to a 0-0 draw, a scoreless draw. Athletic, just how many chances can you have until someone's putting in the net? Luani looking like the Liga F Lauren James without the form, right? Like, it's just like when she's checked out, she's not locked in, and she just doesn't create the chances the same way. Every pass is a little bit over or a little bit under. It's never perfect, which, I mean, when we saw at the start of the year, everything for Luani was just going so right. It feels like they've just written off this season already, and they're just getting ready. They want to go into a preseason for the next one and see if they can knock out some form without UWCL. I think that would be the play, and think that, we can, if Sociedad are in UWCL, let's see what we can do. Or maybe if you're Luani, you'd be looking elsewhere and thinking, you know what, I don't want to be in the Liga F for too long if we're not in Europe.
Well, that's the thing. I just don't think that these players are making themselves very marketable, given the fact that they are underperforming so much so that it doesn't just look like this is a bunch of players having a bad patch of form. This looks like a bunch of players who are, checked out, have decided to completely write off this season, so much so that they're now jeopardizing the place at this institution that has been a mainstay in the top 3 of Spanish football is now going to fall to potentially 5th and completely miss all of Europe, including Europa League.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And when you have teams like Tenerife, teams like Sevilla pushing you at the back, you're not gonna be. It's not an easy league. I know everyone thinks Liga F is this farmers league. I just completely
They only think
disagree.
that because they only watch Barca. Like,
and that's fair. And that's
down, and it's completely on par with any other league that's around in Europe.
I know Athletic have been quite rubbish. I would back Atleti to beat pretty much everyone from 8th and below in the WSL. I would back in current Sociedad to beat most of the pack sides in the WSL.
I back Sociedad to do a better run than Atletico did in the Champions League.
100%.
Like, genuinely.
Well, if they keep their players, if they keep what they've got, and they keep Arturo Ruiz, no question. But for me, I think Real Madrid, on their given day, can give anyone a go, and they gave you a go. I don't know if they'd give Chelsea a go. I haven't seen that game in a long time, and I'd love to see City versus Real Madrid because of what that means in terms of like the two pristine history. Yeah, exactly. But we'll probably get that next year if Real Madrid hold their spot. But we will move into Derek Ray's favorite league, their Frauen Bundesliga matches. Good evening, everyone. We are going to Werder Bremen versus Bayern München. Nah, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm so horrible. But
that's a poor accent. I reckon you could do so much better.
I would do better, but I really don't want to do it right now while there's other people in my house who want to hear it. I could definitely do it properly, and like it will annoy all our listeners probably if I just did it. Next week, I promise I will introduce it properly. I'll set up like a whole quotation of the first match, and I'll just do it right, okay? And I'll set it up properly. But this first game, Bremen versus Bayern, got called off because of snow. Which is rubbish. I'm sorry. I'm calling it out now. I'm sick of snow. I've seen. No, go on. Explain to me.
Artificial pitches. Artificial pitches are the reason why Canadian and US leagues can go ahead. They play on grass in Europe as they should in every league. Fine.
But why is there no solution? This place snows every year. It's not like we cancel matches every year. We're just going to have...
It's bad.
Well, we're gonna have leagues go till August right now because it's just snowing. We mustn't forget it's been snowing. But yes, though, if we're gonna get snowy days and we're gonna get postponements after postponements, then I expect better pitch management from other clubs. If you want to play synthetic, if you want to have a synthetic cover so that you guys can play snowball, I'm all there for it because it doesn't matter if they play on synthetic pitches because the level of snow, there's no grass. You can't see the grass. It is literally like you are playing in the snowball and you're watching icicle kicks from Ottawa. Like it's not even bicycle kicks anymore. But I mean, look, you know what? Shout out to the Canadian Soccer League for providing some great football highlights for the masses. But there needs to be a solution, and I'm not sitting here like Al Gore being like, we need an inconvenient truth about the FRAUEN Bunds that can't play their bloody games. But like, come on, like we can't just keep postponing games because of extreme weather, or we need to find a solution to said extreme weather, whether it's a roof on it, whether it's a second layer. Like there are things, there are ways, there are multi-purpose stadiums around the world that do cater for all extreme conditions.
I know what the answer is. I know what it is.
Go on.
All the games that have been postponed, we put them in the World Sevens tournament.
I knew you were going to say that.
That is how we're going to sort out the league.
I hate you. I actually hate you sometimes. I knew as soon as you said all the teams, I'm like, oh my God, she's going to do it again. She's going to talk. Honestly, get yourself a partner. Who are all your listeners out there? Get yourself a partner who loves you as much as Leggy loves the World Sevens tournament. But VFL did play Essen at the AOK Stadion, but nothing is AOK when you drop points to SGS Essen. But look, you can drop points when you're 7 points ahead of the pack. Let's be honest. VFL playing with somewhat of a second squad. It didn't really matter when the cavalry came on. They were kind of behind. That goal from Essen, by the way, quite impressive. Yeah. What a ping. I mean, centre half pinging the ball like that. I think she needs a new position to on.
No idea how she got up there, by the way. Yeah. Absolutely no idea.
Hey,
but it was...
If someone's going to get up there, someone's going to get up there. Sometimes it doesn't matter who, you know, like not to sound like an owl or anything, but you just got to finish the ball when it's there. Yeah. But I mean, look, I think it was such a weird game. Even VFL's goal, the Keeland corner where it was a shambles. I just thought Lurch was. I mean, it's crazy when you go from this game to how they played against Juve after. I think they must have taken this game in where he went to the drawing board and say, we can't play like this against Juventus, and they were way more expansive and better against Juve. But in this game, it was very uninspiring. Personally, the shot chances they were creating, the lack of variety in their build-up play. I think you said it best. You said the VFL just spammed the right side, and I just went, Lurch spam. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But, I mean, that just sounds like a German, like, fish or something. But
Lurch spam sounds like a sausage that you would buy in, like, a rural town in
I mean, there you go. I mean, this is what you tune in for, everyone. The Benchwarmers Always So podcast. But Essen, I mean, look, it's a good patch of play and it's a great result, to be honest. And
this is their second draw.
Yeah, rate that. I mean, that's pretty impressive, the fact that it's win or loss. But, I mean, for Sinderman, the goalie, she made some ridiculous saves. Yeah. The one where Pettermores was, 1v1? And she still kept it out.
5 yards out as well, yeah.
Yeah, backline was Misley and Gritty. I don't know what you need in these games if you're going to respond to a bigger side than you, make them feel bad about not putting up their best squad. Be like, you know what, you should have respected us more, and I think next time they will, and next time they'll try and come out and swing for the fences if they're VFL, because you hold grudges. This is what happens when you're a manager and you get held. Like, if you're Lurch, next game you come up against Essen next season, you go, you know what, guys, we drew to them last time. We need to show them who's boss, and that's what it's about. And Latvine and Pop and Enderman coming on, the back line was set up, and you can't just get people into the game so easy. So it wasn't much of a push, but that's all I really have. Is there anything else you want to say about VFL?
I was just gonna say this is the first result for Essen in something like 18 match days. I like to think of the fans of Essen are like maybe 3 of them that are around the world,
and us, the ones watching their games.
I just like to think that, like, you get a result against VFL, and then you obviously see that same team go and play in the Champions League. It's just kind of like, you got to commend the fact that Essen have done this. This is a team that could potentially be relegated by the end of the season and have gotten a miserly draw against second place VFL.
I mean, that's what I think about, like, Sociedad. Even if Sociedad don't hold that third place, it'd be really disappointing. But to get a win against Barcelona is something for the history books, and I think that's got to be commended that same way. But we'll move around the grounds to what I would say is the biggest disappointment of the week in Hoffenheim.
No, this is the funnest game.
Absolutely eaten alive by Hamburg. I mean, 4-0 at home. 4-0. I would be apologising to the fans that turn up to a 4-0 away from 4-0 at home.
Cersei won't be posting. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh my God. I don't know if she's mentally checked out, but look, Hamburg are not a good team. They are not. This is not okay to get packed in 4 by a team that's won 2 in 17. Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. But I mean, the goal, I don't know who Camilla Lindberg is. I had no idea who she was till before this game. Yeah. Holy schlamoli. What a strike. What a brace. The only thing wrong with that strike was the celebration. Why Sui? I don't understand why you're suing. What are you doing a Ronaldo Sui for? You're literally playing for Hamburg. You have players like Van der Vaart. You have Heung-min Son with the best celebration of all time. Kevin Keegan, 2-time Ballon d'Or winner for England. And you do a Ronaldo. What is Ronaldo's influence over the Hamburg women's Frauen team? I'm fuming. But, I mean, look, Lindbergh struck again. She scored again, found the spaces. They were really, they didn't look like a 2 in 17 side, I'll tell you that.
No, and Hoffenheim didn't look like a team that could potentially be getting Europe next season. This looked like a team that was completely out of it. They looked gassed, and they have been looking gassed in the last few weeks. But this is also a team that just looked completely overrun in midfield. A team that, when given the chance to go forward, were not passing it to their usual suspects, specifically Serchi, who was completely isolated out of this game. But more so, I have absolutely no idea what some of the players in this Hoffenheim team are doing. I think that we have to look to the fullbacks in this game. I mean, there was players who were passing the ball off to opposition and then making lazy attempts to get back. 1v1's completely taken out of the game. I've absolutely... there is no way that a Hoffenheim fan can come out of this game and think that this is a team that will be competing against the likes of the teams around them, including teams like Bremen and Leverkusen. And
Frankfurt as well. I mean, when we're looking at possession, Hoff had the possession, but they got caught on the break. I'm glad you mentioned the midfield, because the midfield two of Martens and Bartz for Hamburg were unbelievable. But I believe Martens had 19 defensive contributions from central midfield, and Bartz created the most chances of anyone in the game. So, like, they're doing their job. It was Hoffenheim played this 3-5-2, but it's very narrow, and they packed the midfield, and they were going up against a 4-4-2, and these two midfielders said, put as many as you can in the center of the park, and we will weather the storm, and we will do it. And that's how they ended up forcing the play wide, and it was just beautiful football. So shout out to Hamburg. You deserve all your flowers this week, as we will move into Frankfurt, who deserve their flowers this week, and Geraldine, one of my Swiss goats, doing the business, the hat trick against Karl Zeiss away from home, and Yomi with her goal too. They also won in the Europa Cup as well. They're in the next round. Hayley Russell, my go. I can't wait. I mean, I'm bullish for any Tilly who's scoring before March, before the 1st of March. Yeah, I mean, I did see the goal. Why did she score?
She scored because she had the Tilly's shirt underneath the Frankfurt shirt.
Did she actually?
This was a game. No,
I didn't see.
This was a game.
I did not see that.
No, this was a game after the squad was announced for the Tillies. So obviously she was in Tillies mode. And what happens when Rasso is in Tillies mode? She's arguably top 10 player in the world.
To me, she's my rein me in moment. She's the like Rasso in a Tillies top is rein me in. Like what? Just do it for a club. Just find a green and go play for Norwich. Hamburg. I don't care.
Sorry, Hammarby.
Yeah, Norwich, Australia. They're the three, the holy trinity of green and gold clubs. Just, you know what? Get Norwich promoted to the WSL2 at this rate. Like you could just do it. Rasso could just play for Norwich as in green and gold and be like, and just call it Till I Die or Watch Me Waltz. Like that's the new one, isn't it? Let Me Waltz. I can't remember what it is. It's so bad. But
is that what it is?
Yeah, it's like the new one is
Till
like
I Die.
No. It's still Till I Die, but there's a new one now that's like it's like Watch Us Waltz or it's Let Me Waltz or it's Christopher Waltz.
So
I don't know what it is, but
that's
it's
so bad.
I don't know. It's the
Are we Gerting next?
Blue Danube.
That's the most Australian joke you're ever gonna get out of me.
Tillies have you girt. Till I girt. Like we gotta get like around the grounds, like Woso people are like around the world. We need like Americans being like, we have you girt. We have you girt. Like we're gonna put girt into the verbal zeitgeist of humanity.
During around the grounds for the Asia Cup, should we call it ATG around the girt?
Around the girt. Girt the grounds. Girt the grounds. GTG.
Okay,
GTG. Because it's surround the grounds. But that's all the girt conversations you're gonna get for today. But the last game in the Bundes was Leverkusen versus Köln. We don't have to go through it too much, but my goat Vanessa Fudala, player of the match once again, topping the Bundesliga goal scorers, 12 goals and 4 assists in 17 games. Get your move, girl. You will get your move. Yep. I'm so locked in for Fudala's career right now. I want to see where she goes. If she stays in the Bundes, I know a lot of German players love staying in Germany, which is totally fair, but I would love to see her explore Europe, see what she can do, because right now the form is mental. To the Femminile, where your Roma call is looking by the day more stressful. I'm not talking about your Roma fanhood. I know you don't go for Roma, but I'm saying you shield them for the league, and now the bottle is coming. But
it's not coming. It's not coming.
I mean, we'll find out because Inter showing every sign of the takeover, and we'll talk about that soon. But Napoli holding Roma to a Desmond Tutu in a 16-minute goal blitz, where 4 goals in 16 minutes from both sides. But I mean, all the chat has to be about this Napoli girl. Where did she come from? Oh my God, Banusic. She's been injured. So I looked her up. She's played 7 matches since the turn of the year, 6 GAs in those 7 matches, but hadn't played since October with injury. But my God, those 2 finishes. I mean, the free kick was unbelievable, but the other goal, the skill to be able to weave and wind, and she looks a bit taller, a bit stronger. It's not like she's lanky. She's got power and the ability to latch through I mean, Roma have had their defensive problems this year, despite being top of the league. But I mean, Dragoni and Giuliano doing what they do best. Which I mean, Dragoni. I wonder if Dragoni will get a move back to Stadio de Cruyff.
I don't think she'll go back to Barca. I just think that those ties are broken. From what I've heard, but I think that she deserves a move outside of Italy. I think that, but I can't get past the fact that the connections that she's established with that Roma forward line. I'm talking about Dawson for the first goal for Roma. I'm talking about Giuliano established, but also the other players. Like I know that she has a fantastic chemistry with Alyssa Pilgrim. Like these are players that now she's been playing with for 2-3 seasons, right? And you can't deny the fact that she's pretty much in she's either that squad, she's that higher midfield role, and I don't actually think that they have that creative outlet if it's not for her outside of Giuliano.
Yeah, I don't disagree, and I think they have players like Bergamaschi who can do amazing things, and they have other players off the bench, as you said, like Elia Pilgrim, who can match win. But you just don't know. Like, it's one of those players where Dragoni is so leaps and bounds ahead of pretty much most of the team other than Giuliano, where you think to yourself, wow, okay, if they want to play wherever they want to play, I know they're probably on relatively bigger contracts compared to the other players in the team, so maybe they do just want to dominate Italy for a little bit. And if they get the Femminile this year, it will be the start of retainment, and they'll play in the Champions League and try and have a better go than they did this time, because I mean there was some performances to forget in that Champions League campaign that they just had. But
I think people will not remember the fact that, like, if they win the league, it's kind of gonna be like last year.
It'll be like an A plus, but let's remember you also got packed in by Barca, you got packed in by Roma, by Chelsea, and all these moments that allowed them to win the league. I mean, look, a lot of people are saying that about Man City right now, that the only reason we're winning the league right now is we wouldn't be doing this well in the Champions League. I think there's an argument to that. I just don't think you can discredit a team for winning the league when there is so much monopoly over it, like Juve or Chelsea respectively in their respective leagues and their success. So like, it is still an A plus, but there are caveats to that, in the sense of that Roma have been put in a position now that Juve are out, they're going to chase. And I know that Juve ended up, I mean, we'll move to that game just quickly, as they ended up in a scoreless draw with Lazio. I mean, this was an unbelievable goalkeeper performance yet again. Durante, this is her third man of the match performance in 5 games, in her last 5 games, which is, I mean, again, this is Teresa Morrissey form right here. Like, this is it. This is when you're winning and dying with the quality of your goalkeeper. And if I'm looking at goalies, if I'm City and you want I mean, I don't know if Eartha Cummings is going to be the player that I want her to be. I'd be looking at Durante as a second goalkeeper. I'd be looking at players who can match win, goalkeepers who can match win. They don't have to play week to week and be brilliant. They just have to match win. And I know Juve were quite unlucky, and Bakari
No, it's
had
not even
moments,
unlucky.
but
I think that there were moments in this game where I'm like, I don't even think that they want to be there. I mean, and I'm being totally serious. Some of the shots, it was expedient, it was lazy. Shots from outside the box were all the rage in this game. I mean, Juve had opportunities to make one more pass, to drive a bit more with the ball, but they get the ball and they're shooting from 30 yards out. And you're thinking to yourself, the great thing is that they're getting it on target. But I mean, obviously the fantastic Lazio goalkeeper's performance meant she tipped it over the bar. It was easily in her hands. And at some point, there had to be a change. There was a bit of a change. It just happened to be so late in the game. I mean, they started picking up form 75, 80 minutes in, where they had no way of scoring in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even going to call out the players. It's Massimilio Canzi. Maxi, it's on you. It doesn't matter if you get 26 shots a game. If you do not score, it's on you. And you're the one who can tell players to stop shooting from 35, 40 yards. You're the one in training who can say, we want combinations of play that get us higher chances. This is your role. This is your job. And I see it with Girelli, who forces high percentage chances to all these players, and Vangsgaard and Krumbeigel. They don't take low percentage shots because they're trying to score worldies. They're trying to win the game. And it's on you to be like, that shot's not there. I don't care if it's an option, that we don't take those shots anymore. We don't take them too many, because it makes goalies form. If you take 26 shots and you score 3 of them, it means the goalie's probably had a good game, and it also allows them to get warmed up. The more hits that they get, the more catches they get, the more goalies get. They're a bit psycho goalkeepers. You don't want to give them the ball, because if you give them the ball, then they'll be comfortable with it. But yeah, Juve have a lot. Yeah,
Leah Volti was a massive miss in this game. I presume that she was rested because of the fact that they had the Champions League coming up. Obviously, it was to no avail at the end of the day. But the composure in midfield, I mean, we saw it a little bit later on from Bakari in terms of making those runs and driving into the box. But again, if you don't have that reliable, experienced midfielder in the center of the park, you're not going to be able to be making those connections plays that I've seen Juventus make basically all season.
100% agree. And compare that to the form side in the Femminile. Inter Milan away at Parma, who Parma has caused a little bit of trouble for some teams recently, a little bit of a bogey side, but my God, this was absolute cinema. This game was beautiful. The second half was just ridiculous. I mean, Parma opened the scoring with Ambrosi in the first half, but I mean, it was Inter thinking they had a pen, and then Polly gets yellow carded for simulation, and then Valert crosses it in, and then Polly actually gets chopped up. They get the penalty. Tessa Valert making up for last week's terrible penalty and converting for the equaliser. A big strike and a big vote of confidence, because then she shot again and caused more danger, and then Polly finishes it off for 2-1, but then Palmer finishes in traffic. This goal by Leskinen, by the way, this is how you finish through traffic. There was like 8 players there, and she still managed to find that bottom right corner. It was beautiful, but the limbs come in the 93rd minute. Remember the name, Carolina Leah Wilhelmsdottir. And by the way, the comms for this game were absolutely unbelievable, and the way the players celebrated this 93rd minute winner is everything to Inter, because they know that the Femminile is there to be won. And when Roma drop points, they are hunting. They are 7 wins on the trot now. And this is the Inter Milan that we were expecting to see at the start of the year, especially now they've been knocked out. They got knocked out of the Europa Cup. They weren't ready for it. They weren't built for it. Now they are ready to be a formidable league side, and they will invest if they win this Femminile. They 100% got to be set up for Champions League, because the Europa Cup was a failure. They need more. They need more depth. They can't just play Tessa every single game. And don't get me wrong, having Polly, Buhega and Tessa is good, but you need to rotate them. You need to be able to trust all of them to be able to win the games on their own. And when they're coming into a Champions League, I mean, look, they might not come first, but they might come second, and that's still UWCL qualification. And they need to put something together if they're going to win this league or come second, or at least mount a challenge for Roma, which is what they're doing right now.
I think it's a good point to talk about like squad building, because I think that despite having an incredible starting 11, I don't see the depth on the bench to mount any sort of challenge in the Champions League about maybe getting out of the league table phase. But in my opinion, I think Inter has to start marketing themselves as being a destination club in Italy. I think that Como tried that, and I think that the relation of them getting players and then where they are on the ladder proves the fact that you can have all the, luxury signings in the world, but it actually doesn't really matter when you're not getting
Chid's my
results.
luxury goat.
Yeah, but
who also made the squad, by the way. That's
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that if Inter, and I think about it with Sociedad as well, like if these teams if you ask a regular everyday Woso fan what they think of these teams, they probably have no idea. And I think that a little bit also is with the players. I think players who want to put themselves on the market think that they have to go to a WSL side, they have to go to an NWSL side, but get some minutes for Inter Milan, have a season or two, get second, get third consecutively, maybe mount a challenge as they are this season for a title, and you're actually building caliber in Europe. And I think that that's what more players should be aiming to do.
And there are players that are doing it. We just don't hear much about them because, again, this is where people like us come in Woso, because we care. We want to see Buhega burying goals, dominating in the Serie A Femminile.
I want to see Tessa Wilhelm more than the player that can just play against England.
And Spain, by the way, and Spain. Well, won't forget that. But also, you say Tessa Valhert, look at Lena Magul, right? These are 31, 32-year-olds. They're not going to be around forever. They've got to stay at the top. So they've got to put money in to make sure these 31, 32-year-olds can be replaced. And don't get me wrong, I'd love to see Tessa Valert be the Femminile Alex Pop, or, just the Belgian Girelli at this point. But, Lena Magul is an injury-prone player who plays half a season. And don't get me wrong, you get half a season of beautiful magic football, and no one will ever forget the importance of Lena Magul and what she's done for Germany and what she's done for basically everyone she's been at. But I think, personally, they need to be able to, as you said, you need to be able to be like, we've got the money now, we've won the Femminile. If I'm Fudala, if I'm Camila Kuva and I'm not getting into a squad, I'm Guro Bergsvan, I should be looking at Inter Milan as I'm going to be playing Champions League 90s every week, and I'm going to be a part of a new dynasty in Italy that we're going to spread out the success. This isn't like Calciopoli. They don't have the excuse of being like, the Femminile has been held back. Yes, all Woso's been held back from that extent, but the Femminile can definitely hold its own, because because what Menso has shown that Italian football has dominated in periods of time, and there is no reason why we might not see an Inter side, an AC side, I mean, maybe not an AC side just yet, but an Inter side or a Juve side that contest to a Champions League semi-final, and potentially the way Calcio Ball is, they could genuinely, like, if you just Calcio your way to, it's good for European football. It's the perfect style of football when they play it right. So we'll see what happens in future, but it is an interesting precedent to think about because, I mean, personally, I know it's weird because you're the one with more Italian ties in sport as a whole. I have absolutely no connection to Italian football, but there's something about Italian football that is so romantic and so beautiful, and I want to see them succeed because, I mean, you hear Chiellini talking about the men's Italian side and like they're not playing Italian football, and it's the same thing. Like Italy were a bad referee's call away from a Euros final, in my opinion. Like that's how I feel about that England game. Sucks to be a Lionesses fan. If you think differently, you earned that game. Adjumang was good, but nah, that game was a shoddy call away from Italy being in a Euros final, and who knows what would have happened, what Girelli could have done in
Spain
that game.
would have won.
Yeah, probably, but I'm a hopeless romantic. But speaking of hopeless romanticism, we will move into the greatest league in the world, the greatest, most balanced league in the world. That got only more balanced this week. It is the best sport in the world because the top three just don't win games. It's fucking unbelievable. I love it so much. But we'll start with a quite underwhelming Melbourne derby. Oh my god, this is like the most important game of the calendar for us two specifically. Yeah. And there's not much to say other than the fact that my team can defend quite well. Your goalie's relatively decent, and our forwards think that they could score from 35 yards, and it's absolutely stinky as stink can be. This was probably the stinkiest game of the lot in the week by a mile. But, I mean, what did you think? First thoughts?
Well, I mean, you guys just kind of fell to our level, to be completely honest. And I use fall in like the very literal sense. It's not like a trip. It's not like a nice, like a dive, like Italian football style. This is a pure
hop, step, and jump. Yeah, straight into the well.
Banana slipped in this game. It was pretty poor. It was a pretty poor watch. I pity all of us who sat through
I can taste the Leonica, the real taste of chicken right there. Jesus Christ.
Wow. No, but I don't know. I think that this game was more of a City upset than a victory upset. We played a 4-5-1. Like we were not scoring in this game.
Pack the midfield, isolate Kennedy White like she's back in the States. It was hilarious. Yeah. But, I mean, look, Briley Henry's offside for quite a good move. I felt like it was a good move, but again, sometimes you just get caught offside. And I kind of liked, I mean, if I'm going to give my team any credit, it'll be when Briley and Apostolakis swapped flanks. That kind of worked, and I liked Apostolakis' different look on that left side, and that was kind of nice. But my God, some of the pot shots we were taking were just not okay. Like okay, sure, I'm happy with Holly McNamara doing it. That's fine. But Apostolakis and Aideen Keane, and like I get you get those moments, but just feed the ball around the box. It doesn't have to be 3, 4, 5 long shots. It could be 2 or 3. And like I know I joke and I'm that romantic about long shot ball, and I love long shot ball, but like it can't be my right back. My right back shouldn't be taking those shots. And if it's McKenna or Davidson, sure. And if it's McNamara, she's going to go for it, and I can't complain. But it's just not, we're not going to win a game that we deserve to win just purely on the basis of chance creation. You guys had nothing. Your XG for the total of the game is probably like 0.3 for 5 shots. Like it was a shambles. Like no one wanted to score for victory and no one could score. And then we weren't facilitating chances to prove that we could win this game. This wasn't victory holding us. This was City losing it. And this has happened now, sadly, in the last 6 weeks. A few too many times where our chance creation has just looked a bit shoddy. And yes, there was that one game where our defense looked shoddy, and I'm glad our defense is holding up nicely, but we made your defense look good, and your defense hasn't been good the last few weeks, and that's where you are 100% right in us sinking to your level. But you know who else sank to our level? Wellington and Adelaide and Canberra. Every team in the top 4 decided to play like victory.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, you're
Thanks.
welcome. You're welcome. But Canberra were outplayed by Perth away from home.
Yeah.
What is this league, by the way? Look at the table. There are 12 points between the top and the bottom, and we're at round 16. We're at round 16, and there's 4 wins away. I'm not even joking. Sydney FC, the way they played this weekend, genuinely could make a run for the top 4.
They could genuinely make a run for it.
Did you watch Sydney absolutely schmize Brisbane? What is this league?
I'll tell you what this league is. This league is a league that if you tell me in 10 years someone was like paying people off in this league to just make it more entertaining, I would believe you, because there is absolutely no way that Sydney, who have not won a game in 12 match days, comes in and beats Brisbane. This is now the second time Brisbane have like just absolutely fallen on their asses against a bottom 2 team. The first time was against Western Sydney, and I was completely shocked. This time I'm even more shocked because 2 weeks ago these 2 teams played. 2 weeks ago, and Brisbane won 3-1. I have absolutely no idea what's happened in those 2 weeks. Nothing from what I know.
Mate, what do you mean? What do you mean? They sacked the Ante Juric, mate. That's what happened. The ghost of Christmas past disappeared, and this new Sydney FC has rised like a phoenix. And the phoenix wings look like the Opera House, and it's like this beautiful. It's this beautiful moment where the Sky Blues are playing Sky Blue football. It's like all the dark days are over for Sydney now. They're making a run. This is it. After a performance like that, you have to go into the change room thinking we can beat everyone till the end of the season. And I'm not even joking. Playoffs are literally not off the table. They're not off the table. It's like anyone you call Liga F a Farmers League. WSL Farmers League compared to this crap, mate. This is unbelievable. Okay, I'm genuinely certain if there was betting markets on the dub, you could put even money on any team in the top 6 to win this league. 100%. No questions about it.
I think about the fact that there are 2 W League players that are in the Tillies squad. Obviously, yours is the big one. There is nothing like what we're having in the other leagues around the world, where there will be a significant drop off, particularly in the WSL, of Australian players, of Japanese players. This is a league that for the next we'll have the break, and then after the break, it'll be the exact same players, same fitness, same everything, coming back and trying to compete in a league that is so tight that, as we just said, I mean, Western Sydney, they could be in the competition for a top 8 spot.
I'm not even joking. Yeah, 100%. It is the beautiful game. Anyone who doesn't understand, like anyone who wants like NWSL cap, all that stuff, you're getting it for free right now. You are getting. This is what, like, if we had a league this tight in men's A-League football, it would be touted as like the greatest balance. Even though like Sport Australia doesn't give any money to football, but like this is what leagues should look like hypothetically under a cap. Like this is what it should be, and it's kind of now as like the marketing for it is anyone can beat anyone. Western Sydney were an institutional failure up until 5 weeks ago, where I've watched this form hike where they draw with, they just don't lose games. They lost 1 game to Adelaide 1-0, and they were pretty close to drawing that. But it's an interesting world we live in, and I mean the whole thing with as you said before, with the 2 ins, with Michelle Heyman being the only one, is it an indictment on Australia's picking class that we can't get that? I don't know if that's the answer.
I think I've kind of swapped and changed about this particular concept and idea about the fact that we don't really have marquee players anymore. We're not getting the likes of Kim Little. We're not getting the likes of Jess Fishlock anymore. I think right now, to be completely honest with you, I'm kind of pro keeping this league as close to Sunday League quality as possible. Like, I don't really want a star player coming in and getting 20 goals a season. I want players to be playing at the exact same consistency to get this level every single season. We can't
even get a player to get 20 goals a season, because when they get to 12, they get pipped by Juventus. It's not even fair. You only need 12 to go to Juventus. It's like, what's the point?
The thing is that like with men's football, like the A-League is like incredibly different to the best leagues in the world, like so incredibly so. I don't think that we really have that in the women's game. I think that there's like England, and I think that there's parts of Spain and parts of Europe that kind of have an insane level that no W League player could ever reach. But like, I don't think that Melbourne City would find it challenging to go up against a mid-table German side or a mid-table French side. And I think that
now we will. When Macca goes to the Asian Cup, the whole league's going to go into absolute shambles. There's how are they going to market our games without like we're
They
in
don't
big
market
trouble.
them anyway. It's fine. It's totally
rude.
fine.
I was waiting for that. I did walk right into that one, but I mean, look, we can come back to the squad announcements in the sense that Chids' move to Como has probably been her best move in a long time, and I think she does deserve her call up. And Mary Fowler is a shock in. I've watched her play 3 times, guys. It's not a shock in. I don't understand why Channel 10 is announcing a shock in when I've seen her play 3 times. All the people I know in my life saw my Instagram video at 3 a.m. watching her take her first 8 steps like it was like my child. She walked on. I was like, look at the run. Look at the steps. This is it. It's not a shock. She's been playing football. Why are you announcing it like it's this shock return? We've all seen it. We all knew she was playing. But the shock out, if you're going to call it a shock, is Leggy's go, Courtney Vine. I mean, off camera, we've had so many chats about the idea of whether Courtney Vine gets in.
The concept
and it's
of
a shame.
Courtney Vine.
Basically the institution that is Courtney Vine. And look, I'm all for Jomo in the sense of that this is a meritocracy pick. You don't pick a player who hasn't been playing a lot of football. You don't pick a player who's not ready for the tournament in that way. And it's not about her ability when she has the ability to play. And maybe if she was in the dub, we'd be talking about this a little bit differently because she'd have the ability to progress and express herself on the pitch the way she should. And maybe you could say that's being criticised for taking a risk. But the reality is that I look at the squad, I look at the players that are in it, and I would love any Woso fan to argue who she gets in over, personally, because I could make a... Who is the one?
I just don't think Remy Simpson should be in this squad. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I just don't think that a player that has been basically dropped, not getting minutes, had a poor season last season, should be getting in. And that's not to say that means that Courtney Vine gets in, but I can't believe that I'm backing Courtney Vine here. If you know me in real life, I've been on the Courtney Vine hate train for 2 years. I can't believe
you're not on the train. You're running the train.
I'm running the train. I'm running the
exactly.
station.
You're the bloody conductor. But I don't know. I kind of disagree. I think they're different players. I think we have more Courtney Vine styled players in the team already. We have Ford. We have Rass. We have Mary. What is
Hayley Rasso? Okay, I can understand why Hayley Rasso was on in a Tilly shirt that has obviously gets her in.
She's just on the plane. She's just on the plane. No question.
What has Remy Simpson done? If we're talking about in a green and gold shirt, what has Remy Simpson done that Courtney Vine hasn't done? I was there when Courtney Vine took that penalty, and I can tell you that galvanized the country. And I'm not saying that you should get in because of that. I'm not saying that. I don't think that she is Tilly's material, but I'm saying that the green and gold shirt means something.
It means something. I agree with you.
14 games for the Tillies, no goals. Remy Simpson does not deserve to be in this squad.
By the way, guys, not a Tillies fan, by the way.
I don't like the Tillies.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to DPRK. Okay. Don't even get me started.
I don't know if I need to cut that. But no, to be fair, I wouldn't mind Yui getting player of the tournament. But no, I want the Tillies to win. I want Mary to get player of the tournament, but I don't know how many minutes she's going to get. But yes, I understand. Remy Simpson is an interesting player. I think she's good. I think she is something different, personally.
What does she offer?
No. She is a different archer. No. She is different to Michelle Heyman. You know she's different. She's not the same kind of striker. I'm not saying she's shown it, but the best I've seen of Remy Simpson is a different player to Michelle Heyman, is a different player to Holly McNamara, it's a different player to Sam Kerr. It's a different archetype of player. And
the best you've seen
Courtney Vine, we have a Courtney Vine style player, and the
best you've seen of Remy Simpson was at Sydney. The best you've seen of Courtney Vine was at Sydney. They're the same level. I'm not saying that.
No. I'm not saying that it's one over the other. I'm just saying we have the Courtney Vine archetype in the team.
We don't have a penalty taker who's scored.
That's
in
true.
A quarterfinal.
That's very true. I'm not arguing one over the other. I'm just trying to get into the mind of Jomo, and that's the only way I can picture this. Look, if you're asking me, Annalise Rasmussen is should be in this conversation. Am I not wrong? The form that she's in, like there are players out there. Jacinta Gallardo-Marici is another player that I think it can offer a different perspective. Like, I'm not sitting here shilling Remy Simpson. Though that being said, Amy Sayer and Remy Simpson are very similar in that they haven't got their careers going in the way that I thought they would. But Amy Sayer has had more moments, obviously, and I think Amy Sayer will have more moments, and is making the right decisions to stay in Europe to get those moments. But personally, I don't understand the decision from a meritocracy standpoint. I understand it from a different look standpoint, but again, that's not always the right decision. And maybe Jomo will pay for it. Maybe having Courtney Vine is a good option. I'm not the arbiter of that, but we will find out soon enough. If you ask me, both of them wouldn't get game time in my regime, my Tillies regime, personally. Whereas Holly Mack might not get as much game time as I would personally give her, and that's going to be the shame as well. Exactly. And we'll don't get me wrong. There'll be Instagram stories when Holly Mack isn't starting, and Leggy will be like, corruption. We have to move back to the Coupe de France, the semi-finals. We just wanted to do them quickly because Lyon and Ada Hegerberg doing her thing. A brace against Dijon, progressing to the final. The comms for her goals were mint. De Mornay, unbelievable. As I've said, I think I put it on Instagram or something, or on one of my Twitter takes. I said, if Lyon do what Lyon is supposed to do this year, De Mornay is winning that Ballon d'Or. And she is, like, genuinely untouchable. The things she can do on the field is absolutely sublime. Basha was amazing. She did an Olympico, as Leggy would call it, but it bobbled through the keeper. It was a shambles. It's still a shambles goal. I don't care. It's still a shambles Olympico. But Katoto doing her thing. That techie backheel goal is Katoto. My vision of Katoto is that kind of goal. And they will play PSG in the final because they did the Parisian double. They beat Paris FC 3-0 again. And the same players again doing the business, whether it is Ajibade off the bench, which is crazy, Kanjinga or Rome Lukta. I mean, they are just a force, but how much of they are a force compared to a titan that is the Olympic Lions. But, I mean, it is a hotly contested final. I hope PSG bring it. I hope Lyon don't. But we know what happens, and I think Lyon are on for, dare I say, the Q word. It is a scary world.
I am not saying that because history shows that when Lyon have tried to do a quadruple, they've never done a quadruple. They've always lost in a cup. They've always lost in a Champions League. They've never lost in the league, though. Well, they haven't in a while, so.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But, I mean, that covers all le football this week as we move into the Benchwarmers Awards. I'm going to go first. Never bench again. I mean, I did have an idea. I was going to put Vangsgaard because I feel like the Juve rotation is very solid, and I think there are like all these like interesting moments where I mean I think she is one of those players that probably should be playing every time, doing her business, but I don't know. I couldn't really think of one standout one that I thought was the right answer. I guess I was looking at Real Madrid and thinking about their moments, but I think that is the player I'd call out. I think Vangsgaard is the one for this week.
I think for me, I've gone Volti versus Lazio. I can totally understand resting such an important player, but I think that if you're in a pseudo title race, I don't really know if it's a title race anymore. I think it's more of a race to try and catch up to Inter. I think you need your best players. I don't really know what the fitness is of Volti. She's one of those players that needs a lot of rest, and I can definitely understand that, but I don't know. I think that they look like a far better team with Volti in it, and to see her after the game against Lazio go up and do the press conference for the Wolfsburg game, I was like, where were you? Like, where were you like 2 nights ago? Like, what's going on?
No question about it. I think you're 100% right. And she will be a big part if they have, I mean, now out of the UWCL, she is going to be a big part of their mounting challenge for the league. But my super sub of the week, it goes to the two players who are running their VFL journey together. They're one of my favorite duos in world football right now. It's Bussy and Zakai, but specifically Zakai. that strike is the strike of the week for me. It's a beautiful strike. I've watched it probably about 15 times. It's so perfect. But Zakai for me, just the real deal. Both super subs pretty much every week at this point. I don't know if they're going to be super sub greats. I hope they end up starting at some point and I can put them in Never Bench again. But not just yet with the crop of VFL squad. Who's your Never Bench again? Your super sub of the week. Sorry, apology.
That's right. My super sub is a player. I don't usually choose super subs who don't have like direct GA, but I have to go with Ziggy. I think for me, she's my favorite Manchester United player, as I throw up in my mouth saying that. But I think that without her, they are so lackluster in midfield. They are They are so undermanned in midfield. Technically, they feel lost. Her presence, her box crashing, all the things that we love about midfielders, specifically those box to box. She brings in spades and she brings for United in ways that they just desperately miss if she's not there. And when she came on against LCL, she changed it. She just changed that game completely.
And when she does it for Sweden as well, it's even more scary sometimes. But I mean, I also will say, like, the games that they've lost, the games where they get those blips are the games where you crunch after her. When we went after her and when everyone else went after her, that's when they lose. That's when they get pipped. And that's the goal. I mean, I'm just waiting for Renee Slagers to do it because you guys make them look like bloody prime Mourinho with their way the defensive nous is. But my come on the pod is Massimiliano Ganzi. Sorry, Juve, buddy, you got to score. 52 shots, no goals in 2 games. Martin Odegaard numbers. I'm sorry. I had to do it. I had to do it. I'm sorry.
My breath has been taken.
I'm sorry. I just remember he had that moment where he had his last 27 shots. He didn't score, but
that's so offensive.
I know. I'm so sorry. I know it's your goat, but you're bottling right now, and I needed to make fun of you. I'm sorry. I hope Leggy's okay. Can't see. Sorry, bro. 52 shots, no goals. You gotta do something better. But who's your come on the pod? Is it me?
It's you now.
It's
no, I'm
me.
kicking you off the pod. That's
fair enough. Kicked off the pod. KOTV.
Oh my God.
I'm so sorry.
No. My come on the pod is Erin Cuthbert.
Fair. What? This is correct. I'm sorry. I don't care. I mean, I'm going to sound like such an absolute, misogynist. Yeah. Both misogynistic arsehole, but my God, you can go through this. This is all you.
I'll give you the quote.
Yeah.
I have been struggling to sleep. Oh, Erin. How can I help you? I mean, what can I give you to help you to sleep? I mean, it's been a bit. I've been sad. I mean, my family's on FaceTime.
I'm trying not to laugh. I'm covering my face. I believe women, and I think that Cuthbert has every right to feel. I think Cuthbert has every right to feel this stress. No, she doesn't. Come on, you've won everything. Yeah. You've won literally
except
everything.
For Champions League.
Yeah, okay, yeah, except for Europe. Fine. You lost 3 games in a row, and this is how you feel. Wait, this is nothing. How many times have you lost in the last 5 years? Yeah. You've lost 4 games in total anyway. Come on. Are you serious? You are the backbone of Chelsea. You're one of the biggest rocks. And I understand every player is entitled to their version of what they hold themselves to. I 100% get that. But my Lord, the perspective. Imagine her at Leicester. You would never sleep again.
Yeah, and that's the thing about entitlement, and that's the thing about this mentality that you're untouchable. You're never untouchable. This is football. This is not the Chelsea show. We're not here sat to, we're watching interludes of other teams as we wait for the main stage to come on, and it has to be Chelsea. I think Erin Cuthbert is trying to deflect away from the obvious disappointment that has just basically rifled throughout this team and throughout this community of Chelsea fans that are looking to blame. And Erin Cuthbert is trying to swab that away. She's trying to call her captain, her co-captain Emily Bright as being, a generational leader. She's trying to say that without Sam Kerr, this is, a leaderless team. Personally, I don't see it. I don't think that she's identifying the right problems. I think that this is a club-wide issue of, as I've said before, just an inability to keep up. And that's okay. And that's fine. Teams lose.
But it's the first time. It's the first time they haven't kept up in Yonks, and this is the reaction to it. And you know what? I want to go into this quick. This goes into a little bit of the Manchester United kind of mentality. That whole like, oh well, when Gary Neville and Fergie were there, we had all these insane standards. I'm telling you now, in 20 years' time, you can put the dot on it, 2046, Chelsea will be an institution still, but they won't be that much better than everyone else. It won't be this disparity. And then you'll have ex-players like Millie Bright and Aaron Cuthbert saying, well, if we were Chelsea, when we were playing, we wouldn't have taken that level. We wouldn't have settled for mediocrity in second and third. It's like, no, the game's balanced out. We will balance out this game. And the reality is that entitlement comes from the beneficiaries of a lack of investment from other clubs and a lack of care from other clubs. Man City are now catching on. United are now catching on. Liverpool are going to catch on because Liverpool are an institution that have financial backing and they'll get there. So when you say, when it'll get to this point where ex-United players are doing it now in the men's game where we wouldn't have stood for this fourth, we wouldn't be happy with second.
And we get that now from Chelsea players.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, oh, well, when we had, like, it just doesn't work like that. Football goes through peaks and troughs. Liverpool's men's side had to wait 40 years for a Premier League title. City's women's side, we've had so many chances to win it. Arsenal's women's side, it might be another 15 years until Arsenal's women's side wins the Prem. We don't know. But when 15? They get it, no, I'm sorry. No, but I'm saying it for an example. I'm not saying it because I believe that's the answer. But
we won like 6 years ago.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So, but but let's say it was another 15 till you win it. Like, I'm saying you'd probably win a Champions League again before you win the the WSL, in my opinion. But stop asking for the glaze. Your team are winners. I don't glaze winners. But when we have a team like Arsenal, let's say it's another 15 years. You wait for that 15 years. It's not, you don't just say, oh, it's disgraceful, or Leah Williams says in 15 years time, oh, we wouldn't have stood for this. It's like, well, you were there. It was hard. It's difficult to win things, and your club's identity changes when players leave, when coaches leave, when success and failure comes with its own emotional baggage. And I think I hate that narrative. I hate it so much that, I mean, Chelsea have lost 3 games in a row and it's keeping up players at night. Like, my God, like, have a year off of trophies, have a year without silverware and see what happens to you, and come back next year and then prove me wrong, because I thought you were going to win the bloody treble this year, kind of. I thought Arsenal were going to win the Prem. I was wrong, but I also thought you were going to win the Champions League, and I'm wrong about that too. So, I mean, the proof is that I'm wrong. So prove me wrong, Aaron. That's the key. But we will move into our final segment really quickly. We're going to do what would Kang do? A little bit of a Kang improvisation again. I think we liked it last week because it's a bit of short and sweet. But we're going to do the Kangdemy 5-a-side versus the Young Meriatric 5-a-side. So basically, I've got the Lyon, Spirit, and LCL lineups in front of me. I assume you will have them too. And we're just going to make a Kangdemy 5. So, like, basically under the age of 20. I think 20 or under is fair. Or do you want 21? Is 21?
Give me 21, because I want
21. Okay, good shout. Yeah. So we'll go 21, and then we're going above 30. Is 30 the cap, or do you want 31? 31.
No, give
me 30?
No, Give
me 30. All right. So, do you want the Kangdemy 5, or do you want the Young Meriatrics? Because I'll take the Young Meriatrics if you want them.
I'll take the Kangdemy 5.
Okay, sweet. So, I mean, in my head, if we're going straight to the goalkeeper, I mean, there are a lot of options here, to be honest. Let's be real. When we're looking at keepers, I mean, if we're going to LCL, they're all young. They're all pretty young. But we have Aubrey Kingsbury at Washington Spirit. She has to be my goalie. Yeah. No question about it. I think that's the winner there. Alana Kennedy or Endler. Endler could be in goal, to be fair. Endler is very Kang-pilled. But actually, you know what? I'm going to take Endler. I'm going to go Endler. I'm going to go Renard. I think Renard has to be in. I'm going to go Alana Kennedy, so we're going 2-2-1. So we've got a goalie and 2 centre halves, but also Renard can just be a roam. I think she'd be a lead at 5-a-side. Then I'm thinking, who do I want? I think I want... do I want Saki? No, I don't want Saki. Not in 5-a-side. I just don't think she'll be there. I want Aslani. I want Aslani in that 10 spot. And then... up front, I'm thinking, who do I want from Lyon? I feel like they're all quite young now. I don't think they have them. Do I go Diani? Hegerberg is that 30 cap. I feel like Hegerberg's not a young Meriatric in that same way. You know what I mean? Like, she's not that young. She's still there. Let me have a look at Spirit, to be honest. I'm trying to see. Nah, they're all pretty young, to be honest. I'm going to go with, it's going to be either Paris or we're going to go with Van de Donk, and then we can play Aslani as like that false. So maybe I'm going to go Kang de Donk. And then, Kang de Donk and Aslani. So that's my 5. So it's Kennedy, Renard, Van de Donk, Aslani, and Endler. I mean, that's a 5-a-side. That should be my World Sevens tournament team. But who have you got in your? Okay. Who's your 5?
So I'm gonna go goalkeeper. I'm gonna go Lou Marchal from Leon, or I might go Belhaji. I don't know. Either one. Just go either one. 19 or 20.
I reckon Belhaj is a quality keeper. Yeah.
I'm gonna then go. There's absolutely no defense here because I'm not picking Sangari. Any concept of a 5-a-side, there is no Sangari in my team. Enough. So I'm gonna go Lily Johannes. I'm going to go Claudia Martinez.
Oh, great shout. Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I think I have to go. I think it's impossible for me not to pick what's her name? Freya Godfrey. I think it's just
Freya Godfrey, yeah.
Freya
so
Godfrey.
no Imran.
And then no, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Corrales just because I've been really high on Corrales all season. What's that, 4?
Yeah.
Maybe one more.
Yeah. No, I think you got. I think you got 5. I think that's 5. So you had Belhaj in goal. Yep. You had Corrales as the base. Then you had Godfrey.
Yeah.
You had
Lily Johannes.
You had Lily Johannes. So that's 4. And then
Claudia Martinez.
And then Claudia Martinez is your 5th. So I'm surprised no Liana Joseph, to be fair, but I guess she's injured and she'll come back in. And but you guys decide which 11 is better. I mean, I think it's quite obvious. I think those youngsters would probably cream them, especially in 5-a-side as well. They just run them ragged. But that is all we have for What Would Kang Do, and that is all we have for the Benchwarmers podcast this week. If you love us, you should, because we are everywhere. We are worldwide. We are on Instagram, Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, full audio visual podcast, Spotify, just audio, and then TikTok. Our clips are running the show, the Woso show. We are happy to take anything you want on. We are going to be doing the goods this year. We're going to add more content to whatever you guys want. But thank you all for listening. Oh, wait, do we do it every week?
Every week?
Every week. Thank you all for listening and have a great week.